Hi everyone, my name is Ashutosh and I am preparing this video on the subject of corporations as business structure, and my video is all about advising my client which business to carry it out, and there are overall 4 clients given in the assignment. I am preparing my assignment on client number 2, which is John and Stephen Green. And they are basically brothers, and they have recently inherited $3 million, and they want to invest their $3 million in some kind of property and to build some group of units. So according to their requirements, the best thing or the best business which they should carry out, can it would be the it would be a company of having a limited liability, because a company of having a limited liability will give them many benefits. So the limited liability company structure, which is meant to propel them to next business in property market, the inheritance in received from their father's estate is quite huge to make a limited company, which is different from other structures. Other structures like company which will have a large amount of capital investment, in which they will be having board of directors, secretaries, treasurers. So they can be different, from the partners. So having a limited liability will be having a limited liability company will be a better option for them. And so the people who are basically interested in developing business in our country are commonly advised by lawyers, notaries, in carrying out their activities through a legal person in order to limit their personal liability. So the structure and the main difference between the limited company and the other business structures are mainly in the issue of their directors and the representation of the social capital. So in that sense, in the corporation, the governing body is made up of the thing I told you is board of directors, establishing the legal obligation of at least having one chairman, secretary or treasurer, and they has to be different from the partners. In addition, the existence of the monitoring body known as the fiscal is necessary. It's the basic requirement. So as regard the representation of the share capital in the corporation, this is constituted by shares which constitute a proportion of same share. So while in the limited liability company, the share capital is represented by quotas, which do not be transferred by endorsement as it is known by actions. So another difference is that the limited liability companies are more closed than corporations. There are restrictions on transferability of quotas, specifically because the prior and express consent of the other quota holders is required. So if we talk about shares and share ownership, so in limited liability company, when a transfer of share is made, it does not need to be registered in public registers. This is not a compulsion that they has to be registered under the public registers. So but it will only be recorded in the stock registration book of the company, which constitutes as a private record. The ownership of the shares of the company is public information. Therefore, the transfer of shares is formalized in a public deed, and public registers are registered in the item corresponding to the share capital. So there are many benefits of having a limited liability company, and the one major benefit of having a limited liability company, which is advised by me to my clients, is that the capital they are investing in their company, and if in any case if the company is not working well, they are not liable to pay from their personal assets, because as it is said in the name only, it's limited liability. So being a company designed for an organization with a reduced number of partners, the sole proprietorship and the partnership does not force the existence of a directory in its internal structure. And at the end, I would like to say that having a limited liability company will be the best option advised to John and Stephenson brothers, as according to me the major benefit which they are going to get is they are not liable to pay from their personal assets, even if they have capital or even if they don't have capital, or they are winding up their company, and there's some kind of thing which is not going good in their company, so they are winding up, they are not liable to pay by selling off their personal assets. Thank you very much. That's all. Signing off, Ashutosh.